Okay, tell me this. So if you have an empty chestplate slot and you have your chestplate and your Elytra right next to you, which one are you going to reach for? I feel like everyone reaches for the Elytra. I certainly would. And maybe they bring along the chestplate as a backup. So let's see if we can maybe balance the scales a little bit. We're trying to make an effect happen. Come here. Where is it? Oh, here we go. So maybe we can add some type of effect like this to the chest plate that'll let us rise up in the air. By the way, if you're new here, welcome to Command Block Survival. This is a series where I realize I don't have any levels. Nice. As you can see, we use commands to make things a lot more interesting. This is an XP tank and it has stored XP. I store it with this like button over here. Anyway, we balance things and like make it fun but fair, basically. And we're definitely going to be doing that with the jetpack. So I don't see it here. Just re-roll the enchantment a couple times. Oh. Wow, just under 30 levels. And I didn't get it that time either. Cool, really cool. Well, I guess it's time to go to the Enderman XP farm. Which way is the exit? So one of the other command blocks, oh, there we go. One of the other command block systems we have is we teleport the Enderman to the end in the hopes that they will not take blocks from my island with them. But as you can see, they're slowly building their own island out here. Given enough time, it could make a cool effect, so I kind of just leave it. Here we go. I'm starting to think something's wrong here. Well, let's just check if the enchantment exists at all. This is kind of... Oh, there it is. Jetpack. I'm not sure why it's not showing up in the enchanting table. We'll revisit that. So this enchantment is how we're actually going to run all of the commands. You can see right now it's just empty. It just says, imagine it's working. So now we have a place to put the commands that we're going to prototype here. Starting with a TP command, which is surprisingly dangerous. So we're going to put a limiter on it. But the other thing the enchantment lets us do is it'll give us another avenue to balance later. So let's just put a pressure plate here. Set this to repeat the purple one. And look, the jankiest jetpack you've ever seen. That's not really the effect we're looking for. Well, that's exactly why we prototype things. So how did I do it here? With this UFO. Let's get the item here. Oh. Levitation. Ah, okay. That's why it's so smooth. So we want to copy, whoa, this type of smoothness. And actually we can probably copy the down as well. I think it just uses slow falling. Yeah. So we just go down kind of slow. Okay, so we could try those two effects first. And we'll use a predicate here to test something. We're going to reuse one of the ones I've already made. Oh yeah, this is going to put us in business. Is holding jump. So if I'm holding jump, will give me just a tiny bit of levitation. And then for sneak, we'll do the same thing. And we'll see how this works. Okay, let's turn this on a little bit more permanently. So if I hold jump, that is a really slow jetpack, and we're going to want to change it based on, oh, that could be a problem. I think we'll change it based on the numbers too, but does it go down? Yes, it does. So like maybe we call it shulker lift and we try and make the feel match, you know, getting hit by a shulker bullet, and maybe that's how the enchantment works. So here's an interesting idea. Usually when you get hit by a shulker bullet, you sort of float up a ways and then you fall down. What if we give like altitude limits based on what level? You know, 3 would be unlimited, 1 would maybe you could only go like 10 blocks up from the ground. So we need a way to check for the ground though, if we want to do that. And I don't know how to do that. Unless we could use a predicate. If we test... Wait, let's think about this. We don't need to test for 1 block of air, 2 blocks of air, 3 blocks of air. Technically, we only need to test if there's 10 blocks of air, and if there is, shut off the system totally. So that simplifies things. Maybe if we have a predicate check that just checks underneath us 10 blocks. Okay, yeah, there's location check. We can only test for 1 block at a time, but that's okay. So this will be -1. It'll say replaceable. And we'll just test this. Make this run all the time. And now, what? Executed as the player. This won't be a problem in the enchant tick because it's already, yes, it's like you're going to fall now. And so then we'd turn it off. Okay, that'll work. Sweet. So let's see how that acts. So if we go up, it should stop us from going up any further after a certain point. Yeah. So technically 10 blocks is probably down there, and then the 1 second carries us up a little bit farther. That's kind of cool. We get sort of like a bouncing effect. Definitely not a jetpack anymore. Now, if we're over other blocks, we can actually go up a little bit higher. So it's not an absolute Y value. It's actually relative to the blocks that we're on top of. So here we'll just fall. Oh, wow, we actually fall kind of a lot. That was one of my other questions. How well can we stop from falling here? Can I kind of cheese this and like get up higher? Oh, almost. Oh, I'm cheesing it already. All right, so we fall. If I hold space, ooh. What if I'm reacting to it? Not pressing space. Oh no, I'm falling. Oh, that's really close. Okay, press, not pressing. Yeah, the more I play around with this, the more I'm getting annoyed with the floating after the press. I press, stop pressing. Not pressing, not pressing. It's just, it keeps floating up and it makes it kind of hard to do precise movements. And in fact, what I end up doing most of the time is just jumping once because it goes so long afterwards. And then it just sort of ends up like a space jump, which is kind of cool, but like I want something I can like float around with and, you know, maybe use to build or something, right? So instead of levitation, we're going to run a slightly more problematic command, which is why I didn't start with this. But there is an attribute called gravity. If you've been around a while, you remember this from my space dimension. So we'll make sure to give this a different ID. I'll put my name in there so there's not conflicts with other data packs potentially. Oh yeah, that's right. The data pack might be in the description if this works. We'll just start off with this. I believe the default is 0.8 maybe? We'll find out. So we need to take this off because that does the levitation. So if we just, you know, I realized a flaw in the plan, and that is I forgot to turn off the gravity. Yeah, there's a bit of an issue. Wait, so let me just get my gravity here. It's -42. Like, why am I going up that fast? Oh, it's 0.8, not 8. Oh boy. 20,000. Okay, maybe we need to remove this. Modifier, remove. Please send me back down to Earth. 41, 42. It's slowing down a little bit. Oh, 1, 0. Oh boy, we're gonna start hitting terminal velocity. Oh, but oh no, the numbers are going faster. I'll look straight down so we can see the end approaching. We have a little whiles to go, so you know, maybe we should talk about really anything. I mean, we have forever. This is, oh boy, this is we're going down slower than we went up for sure. Yeah, so basically I forgot to add the crucial command that every tick will remove the attribute. So if I'm not holding space, I won't be going up. And the reason we can't do that with this is if we had other levitation effects, like say we got hit by an actual shulker bullet, we don't want to remove that levitation. We only want to remove the levitation of this, and you can't really do that. So the attribute lets us specifically, man, we still got a long ways to go, specifically target this modifier. You know what I realized upon consideration? I can't press space or else we're going to get flung up into the sky again. So we actually should be working on a way to land safely where I don't die. I really hope water bucket clutching is not my only option here. Don't think I can spawn the boat because there's no blocks. Can't do Elytra because as soon as I press spacebar to open my wings, we're going to get shot up again. I could try throwing an ender pearl, but I don't think they go down faster than you. Oh, and I guess if you're above the world border, they glitch out. That's weird. Okay, we'll try the ender pearl first, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna try and clutch with the water bucket, but don't put your hopes too high. You know, it's moments like these where I really love command block survival. Like, where else are you gonna get yourself into such a predicament? Like, this is ridiculous. Okay, so we're under the world border. We try throwing that, it doesn't work. Oh my goodness. I knew I should have stored those 36 levels. Oh. Well, at least this stuff's easy to get back. Maybe we turn this off real quick. Okay. You know how badly I wanted to hit that water bucket clutch? Like, so badly. That would have been so cool. Hey, wait. This is supposed to limit it. Oh, because the anti-gravity, it just keeps launching you. Well, anyway, here is our remove attribute command. And then we need to change this one. This needs to be 0. And hopefully that's a little less crazy. Okay, so now if we run this... Oh, maybe the gravity effect is too weak. What if we do -0.8? Oh yeah, then we just keep going up. And fall immediately and take fall damage. Okay, yeah, this is a lot closer to what we're looking for. Yeah, I let go, fall. Yeah, that's a lot more precise. I didn't really want to do it with attributes, but they're just better. Oh, by the way, what fixed it was adding the unless predicate is holding jump. So it only removes when I'm not holding jump. But now, turn that off. And we should be able... fly around. What? Why am I slowing down? I stopped. Oh, because -0.8 is like exactly... Oh, wait, so I probably need to increase it to -0.9, I guess. I'm curious, can you catch yourself with this? Oh, no. Oh, man, even if I increase the gravity, you still cannot catch yourself. Like, I'm pressing space... I'll tell you when I press it. Now. Like, that's not catching it? Like, that's pretty far ahead. So attributes are more responsive, but levitation is more safe. So maybe we combine these commands. So we can catch ourselves with the levitation. We have it for just a moment. But then the speed of falling, oh, there's still a little bit of that levitation. Letting go, and there's just a little bit of a delay. When I'm higher up, it's not really an issue because I've been holding it down long enough that the levitation wore off. It definitely helps with catching though. I can do it like every time now. Okay, so I started working on the hovering mechanic, and if we hold shift and space, you'll notice we kind of float around like we're hovering. And I was worried about trying to kill our momentum, but we're actually like at perfect equilibrium here. Except I can't go down and I can't go up apparently. Oh, unless I'm over blocks. Okay, this is what I was worried about. Okay. Yeah, so that levitation is causing issues and the floating up is pretty annoying with the hover mode. So we need a way to kill momentum. And my idea... Okay, let's float up with hover mode on. And then... What? It's really hard to tell if I'm in hover mode or not, which is a major issue. We'll do some visual stuff probably to fix that. This isn't really killing my momentum. I think I found the problem. Hover mode off, hover mode on, hover... So it's like constantly switching on and off. So sometimes if I just tap it once... Oh, it just turned off? Oh, wait a second, I might have found something. Yeah, it's doing weird stuff to my momentum. So I'm actually I'm making the player ride an entity called nothing, which, as you may be surprised to know, does not exist. And we'll see if this lets me catch myself. Not really. Oh yeah. There we go, it's switching perfectly. It's not spamming back and forth even if I hold both buttons. And the reason that that happens is because I made it so it only changes when you let go of the button. I thought I was going to have to add like a whole scoreboard and everything, but no. All right, this works. Sweet. You'll also notice that I'm getting levitation again, and that's because I gave in. No matter what angle I came at it at, there's just no better way to catch yourself, and it just makes everything else smoother. The important thing to note is that I'm getting a little bit of levitation. You can actually see it now, both particles and on the side. But as soon as I let go of space, I instantly remove it, and that means we're immune to levitation. If we get hit by it and I let go of space, it's gone. And as I was thinking about it, I was like, wait a second. This is shulker lift, right? We're sort of rising up with the power of like shulker bullets or something. Wouldn't it make sense if we're immune to it? And then when I thought that, I was like, okay, we're switching over to actually using the effect. Yeah, it's just so much better. It makes everything easier. Okay, so now we have a hover mode, a really weak hover mode, but there's actually no way to get down. I can't go down. Kind of a problem. And the weird thing is we can't really like, there's nothing that like forces us down in terms of an effect. So we're going to have levitation for going up, but we're going to use the attribute for going down. And with a wave of the magic data pack, look at that. We went up for some reason. That was kind of weird. All right, fine. You can laugh at me if you want. I was adding a negative number, which I was thinking, would make you go down, but actually negative makes you go up. So if I hold, yeah, there we go. We can gently descend. So we basically have already met our goal, right? Because this is way better than Elytra. It doesn't cost fireworks. I can just fly all over the place. I mean, sure, it's a little bit slower, but it's not that bad. I mean, we're basically immune to getting attacked by mobs from up here pretty much. Except for maybe skeletons. So we need a way to balance this so that it isn't so overpowered. And the block limit is nice, although the third level isn't going to have a block limit, I think. But what I was thinking of is having it be, it's not a jetpack, right? So we don't fuel it up, but maybe having it have some sort of timer and maybe relating that to the durability. So we could effectively scale it with like, okay, you put it on a gold chest plate, you don't really get that much flight time. But if you put it on another right chest plate, then you get a ton of flight time. So that's like even an additional way of balancing it. So we need a way to track how much the player has flown. And I don't like to have objectives where I constantly have to tick them up. So what we're gonna do is use a built-in function, objective, that will count up automatically. So when we're doing nothing, it'll charge up, and then hopefully if I coded this right, it will go down when we're flying. Yes, ha 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 ha. And we can display that number really easily in the text bar here. Yeah, there we go. I'll pretty that up later. But if we hold, yeah, then it goes down. So we can really easily see the fuel even if this thing's not there. And then I just have to add some way to limit it to this durability, which could be tricky. This is a bummer. The durability number isn't stored anywhere, so we can't pull it and put it in the scoreboard to like cap it out. So we're probably gonna have to hard code it. So it's like if it's a golden chest plate, then we give it 112 durability. But what we can get from here is how much damage it's taken, and I think it'd be cool. Look at that, it slaps right into there. Perfect. So what we can do is we can lower the max durability by this amount. So basically, if your armor's damaged, your flight time is reduced. Okay, check this out. It's doing the calculations now. It's taking 112, subtracting the durability that we have. And like, if I get hit, it takes durability damage, right? So we can see 101 out of 112, and the max jetpack is directly reflecting that. And so if I fly here, you can see we're going well into the negatives because it capped out here and then just started going down. Pretty cool. And let's make sure it doesn't work if it's below 0. There we go. Perfect. Oh, I took damage from the zombie when I landed. And just like that, we have a limiter. And it is a very, very short limiter. Jetpack or shulker lift 1. I can't even fly to the top of these trees. I might be able to get on this one. Ooh, that is short. And if I'm hovering, I can only hover about that long before it just shuts off, which is pretty cool, really. But this helps us a lot because now that we have a limiter, we know the limits, right? And so we can make the levitation, you know, maybe we want it to actually be a little bit stronger. Oh yeah, it just removes it because we're immune. Maybe we want it to make you go up a little bit faster than it is currently. I'm adding in the different levels of stuff, and I think I might have just fixed the enchant. Yeah, there it is, shulker lift. I don't know if we're gonna go 4, but at least it's appearing in the enchanting table now. All right, this is looking like something that could challenge Elytra. You can just fly straight up. That's the thing. This has a lot of vertical, whereas Elytra has more horizontal. Oh, I was trying to catch it in midair. But yeah, like the jetpack, you can go straight up. I feel like it's going to be better for building because it's like, oh wait, I need to get around here just real quick. It's like temporary creative flight. And I spent a lot of time like whittling down the numbers. So like, if I just spam jump here and try and stay at the same height, my numbers are slowly going down. This is a higher, this is shulker lift 3, which is pretty good. If we go into hover, it goes down kind of slower. And this is without better durability. And I also added a thing here, like if I just hold spacebar, it doesn't work anymore. It used to kind of like, you can see we can go a lot farther. It used to sort of catch you, but now it doesn't at all. But yeah, you want to kind of feather it so that you at least have a little bit so that you can catch yourself. The other thing to note is there's no max height when you have the third one. And then I also decided to do a 4th one as well. So you get 10 blocks below you with 1. You can see you get that error. 2 gives you 50 blocks, which is quite a lot. Ooh, yeah, I forgot to feather. 3 has infinite range, so it's like the first one that really lets you fly, and it only takes points away like every other tick. So it lasts, it lasts a lot longer. You can see the board is only updating like every other tick. You can tell it's a little bit slower. But then this golden chest plate here, this is shulker lift 4. Hover mode lasts for so long. Like this is only a golden chest plate, right? It only has 99 durability as opposed to like the 500-ish for diamond chest plates. So you should get like 5 minutes or so of hover time, which I feel like will be really useful for building. Like it'll go by pretty fast. You'll be like, what should I, oh there. Better catch myself. So, you know, it's not infinite. And you'll also notice you ascend a lot faster. Like that probably took like 1 second as opposed to shulker lift 3. It's like, you know, 3 or 4 seconds maybe. Anyway, so I feel like that's a pretty decent balance. We don't have a whole lot of horizontal momentum, but we have a ton of vertical momentum. So for the last thing here, we do get a little bit of particles. I kind of want to add some more particles and I want to add some sound so it's kind of fun. But the thing is, this is triggering every like tick, right? So we don't really want it to be an annoying sound, but we want something kind of mystical. I'm going to try a couple of the shulker sounds. Kind of like this one. This is an alley sound, but I'm listen to it at normal pitch. It sounds like maybe a good sound for like hover mode on and off. Oh, there really needs to be a distinction between on and off. Actually, the shulker shoot sound, if I slow it down. Here we go. Can you even hear that? It's really subtle, really quiet. Just sort of like a low hum in the background. I think that's perfect. Okay. The visual effects and auditory effects are in. If you listen really closely, you can kind of hear the sound. It's really quiet and not annoying. Maybe a little too quiet. The particles I'm noticing there's too many of, but I do like so these are the end rods, same thing that gets used for shulker bullets as well, which is the reason I picked them. And the particles don't always spawn, but they just periodically spawn. And something kind of cool is when you're flying upward, the particles have a little bit more velocity, but if I hover here, you'll notice the sound is a little bit different, and then there's more particles, and they are... Oh yeah, you can hear the hovering sound. That's the villager conversion sound, actually. I really liked the sound of it. But yeah, these particles like just kind of stay put more. Whereas if I fly up, they kind of move around a little bit more. In fact, they could probably stand to move a little bit more even. But yeah, here's the hovering sound. It's a pretty good auditory cue, I think. Okay, so last thing we're gonna do is get rid of these cheated for enchantments. And then we'll get a legit one. And I think I'm gonna enchant this fully. Oh, there it is, 4. Oh wait, I needed levels. Okay, so that should be good. Here we go. Oh, you know what? Let me check the book just in case. I'd way rather. Oh, okay, there's not. That was a. This is a boat enchant from my Skiz Boats data pack. It's based on some idea. Ooh, Unbreaking 3. Awesome. And look at that. The little thing pops up. So I'll put that data pack in the description as well as the one I just made for the jetpack. But now comes the time to ask the honest question. Which would I rather have? And I think, like, if I'm going to go exploring, there's just no doubt in my mind. I'm going to use the Elytra. You know, I'm going to use fireworks. But if I intend to just be around the island, which I do, I think I'd rather have the jetpack. It's just way more convenient. It doesn't use fireworks constantly. And yeah, you know, I can't go a lot of horizontal distances, but on the island, I don't really need to. Definitely a cool addition. I'd be curious to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm sure you have opinions on this as well. Please do back up your world if you download this data pack, because it uses custom enchantments and it's kind of hard to go back. At least it used to be. I don't know if it still is. Anyways, it's just always a good idea to back up. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm enjoying this. It feels really nice to use. I like the particles. I like how they're minimal because if I'm building, you know, they're not really going to get in the way. And I like that it doesn't last forever. I feel like this is all right balance. But yeah, with that, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you get a little bit of fun out of that data pack, and I'll see you in the next episode. I'm waiting for the jetpack to go down. Later.